Guys, we are back. Sound every alarm that we have because today is the day, guys. Today is maybe the single greatest day in my generation of boxing. You guys know I'm not the biggest boxing fan, but it's never been because of the sport. I appreciate the sweet science. I think over the last year, because of you guys, I've fallen more in love with the sweet science, but today is the reason I want to be a boxing fan again, and that is because we've cut out the red tape. We pushed all the bureaucratic bullshit to the side. Guys, we are getting the single greatest and most important heavyweight boxing match of this generation, of my generation. You guys know what I'm talking about. You've read the news all day. It's been on Twitter since yesterday morning. I'm talking Tyson Fury, your WBC, your lineal heavyweight champion versus Anthony Joshua. He holds the IBO, the IBF, the WBA, the WWE, the Intercontinental. You get the point, okay? We are finally going to see the heavyweight titles, the heavyweight belts unified. We're going to have one undisputed heavyweight boxing champion in the world. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. My mind is everywhere. The heavyweights are back. Let's talk about it. So first off, yes, while the fight has been signed, actually there's two fights. It's a 2-fight contract. There's still some things that we have to get through. There's still a little bit of red tape we need to cut through, unfortunately, and that is venue and date that we still haven't gotten. Now, they do have 30 days to get this date and venue figured out, but let's put that to the side for a second. Let's assume that that's going to get done. It's more of me praying that it's going to get done, but it's going to get done, okay, guys? Let's put that to the side and let's talk about this fight, because outside of the well-known and highly sought-after influencers that are getting into the boxing game, and outside of names like Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez, outside of those guys, this sport doesn't have any big stars. There isn't any big storylines. There's nothing to bring new fans in. Fighting is almost a sport you have to try to screw up, and boxing has done its fair share of it. But you put that out of the way, and I'll tell you this. Fighting is inherent, right? There's this old saying that if you were to go out on a street corner and you have Tom Brady throwing a football to Jerry Rice on one corner, or you have LeBron going one-on-one with Michael Jordan on the court, or you have two people in the street fighting, most of the people are going to watch basketball, golf, football, baseball, and then some people will still be watching that fight, right? Because it's a fight. People are going to watch. Now, remove all of the names. They're just random people playing basketball, random people playing football, golf, baseball, and then there's two people fighting in the street. The crowd surrounds the fight. Fighting is in our blood. It's natural for human beings to be intrigued by the art of fighting. Whether they want to do it or not is a different story, but seeing other people do it, seeing the sport of combat or the action of combat, there's something about it that's inherent to human beings. Now, say you add names to the fights. Say it's not just random dudes fighting in the middle of the street. Say it's Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fighting in the middle of the street. Both guys from the UK. Both guys have a history of being that close to being the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. What you get out of that is probably the most important and greatest heavyweight bout, or a couple of bouts, that you've seen in the last decade, maybe two. This is one of the only times over the last decade where we've seen in their prime versus in their prime, two of the greatest in their division fighting for an undisputed title. So we have the backstory. We have everything we need before the fight. And that stuff's icing on the cake. That brings in the new fan. That brings in the casual fan when they hear that storyline and a little bit of the buildup. But the backstory, everything that we've known about Tyson Fury and how he's come back from, crazy lows, and how Anthony Joshua got up off the canvas after losing to then come back and beat Andy Ruiz, all that stuff, that's pre-fight. That brings in the new fan, the casual fan. Us, the people that have been here, that wanted to see this, that wanted to see two of the best step in their prime. Not Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather when they were over the hill. Not an aging Tyson trying to come back and make one more run at the heavyweight title. Prime versus prime. And I gotta say, this is a damn good fight. Anthony Joshua, the big fundamental as I like to call him, he is going to stay behind that jab. And it's a great jab. He pops it out there. It's very quick. That right hand will come out. He's got a great uppercut. He's got good timing on it as well. But he will stay behind that jab like it is a bulletproof wall, and on the other side is a Gatling gun ready to mow him down. He will pop that jab continuously for every round that he's in this fight. And then we have Tyson Fury, the man with lightning feet. You would have thought he was a cruiserweight or a light heavyweight, but he's standing there at 6'9", pushing 260. Man's got such good head movement, you thought he was headbanging midway through the fight. I'm saying this guy's got everything a heavyweight shouldn't have. Great head movement, phenomenal footwork, the ability to fight going backward and coming forward. We saw that against Deontay Wilder. This guy is dynamic. But listen, they both have their drawbacks. Anthony Joshua tends to be a little hesitant to pull the trigger, and when he does, sometimes he finds himself in the pocket for too long. Tyson Fury tends to rely a little bit too much on his head movement with his hand straight down, and sometimes because of that, he will get caught with big shots. Otto Wallin caught him with some big shots in that fight. I'd actually like to see that fight down the line. Again, Deontay Wilder hit him with 2 punches that put him down in their first fight. The guy is susceptible to getting hit with some big shots because of the way he fights as a heavyweight. Maybe I'm overhyping it, but I want to see the heavyweight boxing champion be undisputed. Right? There should be one champion, not 40. Just like in other sports, there is one champion of the world, right? There should be one. In that weight division, the baddest man on the planet. And I understand for guys to get paid, there need to be multiple promotions and other things like that. I get it. You can't be everywhere at once, but we finally are going to get an undisputed champion. I cannot wait. I just got home from work at 9 o'clock and had to record this because I was just too damn giddy. We got so much to talk about. The fight's a little bit of a ways out, I would assume. I've heard June. I've heard May. I've heard July. I've heard all the way as back as far as September. They're supposed to fight twice in 2021. I don't know how that's going to get done unless it's done quickly. But finally, in the heavyweight division, the money drawing division, Mike Tyson, Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Lennox Lewis, the biggest names in the boxing industry forever. It's now time for one of these two to join the ranks. Who is going to be our undisputed champion, and at least in the boxing ring, the baddest man on the planet? We don't even have to guess anymore. We're actually going to find out.